So there's a small YouTube channel named Connor Pugs, and I recently got a lot of comments to go down the Connor Pugs rabbit hole. Thank you guys so much for the support and suggestions. I really love you guys. I kinda didn't want to cover him for a multitude of reasons. The first being that he's just a guy that fell off harder than All Might in My Hero. And to give you a good comparison, I get more views than this guy, and he has over 200 times the amount of subscribers than I do. That just goes to show you that, number one, y'all forgot to unsub to him if he's really doing that bad. And two, you are all very lovely people, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. But anyways, the second reason why I didn't want to cover him is because big whoop, he does some r/actually happened stories where in the end everyone clapped. He tells stories like they're meant to be a campfire story. It's like when you lie as a kid to impress everyone. And sure, it's cringe, and sure, these stories are hella fake, and even I've done it sometimes. But I mean, he's just a Storytime YouTuber. Can you really blame him? But the more I looked into him, the more I just started to realize that, damn, this guy's a big loser. And I also didn't want to cover him because I went on a few side quests. In case you couldn't tell, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to make a Connor Pugs video. And that was back in like 2024 when I was like, yeah, sure, I'll talk about Connor Pugs. And lo and behold, it took me like technically one entire year to cover him. But anyways, before you go out of your way to go comment on his videos saying, oh man, the downfall is crazy, or oh man, your content sucks, and just leave some negative comments, just know that you shouldn't leave those comments. Let him take the fall, he's cooked anyways, and if you don't comment and don't give him engagement, you'll be much happier that way, trust me. And the reason why he's falling off in the first place is because of a lot of drama. I don't even think he was in drama. I think it's just he botted his subs or something like that. I'll get into that in a bit. And he was also involved in some misinformation. And now with that being said, let's just begin the video. First off, this guy is a misinformation fiend. I'll state it right now. Mr. Pug spreads a lot of misinformation. He claims that Skibidi Toilet legitimately causes brain rot. When he says this, he doesn't mean Skibidi Toilet is cringe, it's ruining the brains of everyone, yada yada. No, he's actually spreading medical misinformation by claiming that watching Skibidi Toilet puts Skibidi mites in your brain or something like that.
And he got the case of Skibidi Toilet Syndrome. I've explained Skibidi Toilet Syndrome in length before, so I'm going to quickly summarize it. Basically, when a kid watches 26 hours of Skibidi Toilet every single day, his brain has just become infested with Skibidi Toilet mites, where the only thing he can say is Skibidi Bomb Bomb, yes, yes, that's his only thing he can communicate with. And normally a side effect of Skibidi Toilet Syndrome is you just inherently become incredibly cringe.
Now, saying something is cringe is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because First Amendment and also everything is susceptible to criticism. However, with the way he talks about Skibidi Toilet Syndrome, it makes me believe that Mr. Pugs genuinely thinks this is a legitimate problem where watching this type of content gives birth to a certain parasite that feeds off your brain. Of course, this is probably just a joke that he started out with in a desperate attempt to build up his audience once again, but the reason why I don't think so is because he has made, 42 videos talking about Skibidi Toilet Syndrome? Then again, that fact only means that he's just hell-bent on making the Skibidi Toilet fanbase look worse than they actually do, so he's most likely joking about that. But if that's the case, why the hell is he making so many of these videos, or is making up so many of these stories? These stories are obviously fake, but why make fun of the Skibidi Toilet community? Or at least to this extent. Sure, their community is centered around a really strange thing. It's human heads popping out of walking toilets, or gliding toilets, I guess, that fight against men made of plunger-wielding cameras. But for the most part, or at least they're not part of the Epstein Island fandom, I mean, their hobby is entirely harmless. Meanwhile, Mr. Pugs is over here framing the Skibidi Toilet community like they're the KKK. I'm not even joking. At one point, he started talking about how, oh, there's this one kid who was affected by the Skibidi Toilet Syndrome, and he bit another kid because that kid wouldn't say Skibidi Toilet is the best series ever. And yeah, this story is obviously fake. I'm not even going to play around with the idea that, oh, this story might be real, but no, it's objectively a fake story that is not real. Why are you framing the Skibidi Toilet community like this? Their hobbies are harmless. There's no reason to be making fun of this community at all. I mean, sure, it's cringe, and sure, you can make fun of it a little bit, but with the amount of misinformation you're spreading, and you're framing these like true stories as well, so you're essentially just defaming the entire Skibidi Toilet community. So I don't see why you would be making up stories like this. Again, to remind you of what he's trying to demonize in a sense, he's basically demonizing people who have a hobby of watching floating toilet heads fighting men made of cameras, and they wield plungers, and it's like a whole sci-fi thing. So there's really no reason for him to be making this amount of videos other than for him to be bandwagoning on some hate train, which I am not one to talk right now. I mean, look at this. I've been dogging on Darman. I made Mr. Beast videos. I made Moist Critical videos. I mean, like, come on. Obviously, I have no right to talk here. But what makes this extra special is that he is in more Pegasus tiers of milking. He has made around 42 videos. So yeah, I mean, there's really no reason for him to be making this many videos, and also he's spreading misinformation by making the Skibidi toilet community look bad. And on top of that, with all these quote-unquote real stories that he's making, he's just spreading lies for the sake of spreading lies, I guess, and not many people are even watching this either, so I think he should just give his entire channel a whole revamp. The second reason why I don't really like him that much is because his content seems to be AI generated. He says he takes viewer submitted stories, which we all know, of course, is fake. That's like the equivalent of saying, oh, trust me, bro. And he doesn't even show any emails or receipts either, so we know that he doesn't have any proof for this. Otherwise, he would have shown that these are viewer submitted stories. But anyways, so yeah, we all know that his stories and his videos are fake, of course. But I have a feeling that his content is AI generated. The reason why I say this is because we see a lot of his thumbnails seem to be AI generated. We can see that a lot of his thumbnails are having fat people for some reason just throwing a tantrum, and like they're like red face, they got like strawberry looking face, and then I don't know, they're just saying, oh, give me the money, give me the V-Bucks, or Skibidi Toilet is the best, or whatever. And we see a lot of reoccurring characters, so we know that these thumbnails are, of course, AI generated. However, because he's not willing to even put the work in to make a thumbnail, I'm starting to think that maybe he AI generates his content, like his scripts and everything like that too. And to me, this is kind of annoying in my opinion for multiple reasons. I am not a fan of AI content. I think that AI content should legitimately be banned off of YouTube unless it's for like an educational purpose. You know, like, oh, teaching, I don't know, something I heard recently where where there's this company in South Korea and they're working on biomechanical suits that use AI integrated technology to adapt to people's walking patterns. It helps disabled people who can't walk, and maybe it can even be used as like an exoskeleton for people who are paralyzed from the neck down. And it would be a pretty good thing because, you know, we gotta encourage the integration of AI into human life, not substitute AI for the flesh. However, Connor Pugs kind of threatens this by using AI to substitute his work with AI effort, and that's just something that I don't really support at all. And on top of that, AI generated content, it just crowds up the databases of Google and YouTube. There's really nothing special about it. The content generated by AI is more boring than the Disney slop we're getting nowadays. And on top of that, art is meant to be created by humans, not artificially pumped out to get more Benjamins. But here we are with Mr. Pug scrounging around like a vulture looking for remains. It's honestly pathetic to see this type of content. And maybe Mr. Pugs is better off making something other than these fake stories that are, at the very least, displayed as AI generated thumbnails. And at the worst, just entirely made up AI stories that are more made up than Santa Claus. Maybe Mr. Pugs can start making like Fortnite Let's Plays or something, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff out there that Mr. Pugs can get into. Maybe more casual Minecraft gameplay or something that's interesting. In my opinion, I don't even think that his content just isn't as passionate anymore. It feels as if the only human element put behind it is maybe his voice. And the fact that he's a real human being and he's uploading this by hand, I think. I don't know, maybe there's like some AI that I'm unaware of that automatically uploads YouTube videos for you. And there's no argument against this either. He keeps reusing the same characters over and over again. It's obviously AI generated, and it's honestly just lazy how small of a shadow he was of his former self, or He wasn't really a former self of anything. I wrote like a part of the script before I actually started finding out that his stuff was AI generated. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, maybe he's actually putting work into this. No, he's not. It's all, or at least most of the stuff that he's pumped out lately is just AI generated content. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say for that segment. So before I end off the video, I'm just gonna freestyle this part because I didn't script this part when I found this out. But I did a little bit more research before I ended the video because I wanted to, do my research, do my due diligence, and all that other stuff, and, just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, I missed one major thing. He definitely bought his subs 100%. No shadow of a doubt in my mind. So, essentially, around November 18, Connor Pugs had 1 million subscribers. Or, like, if you really want to be exact, if you want to go, actually, he had 1,050,000 subscribers. And furthermore, I have reason to believe that he botted his subs very recently because his engagement has been shooting up recently. From November 18, he went from 1.05 million subscribers, or 1,050,000 subscribers, and within the span of 3 months, he's gained 700,000 subscribers. And sure, that's a little bit weird, but that's not unreasonable because Dream also had that type of stuff. Maybe Connor Pugs is the next Dream. But if you take a look at his latest videos from 4 months ago, because that was 4 months ago, of course, we know that, like around November, and since this video is posted in February 2025, that statistic was from November 2024. You do a little bit of the math, that's like, what, 4 months? If you look at every single one of them, I kid you not, none of them have more than, like, what, 20,000, 30,000 views? Except maybe a few that I could be missing from my piss poor vision. But other than that, none of these okay, well, I mean, maybe a few of the latest videos have like 10,000, but none of them have reached more than 30,000 views. So I'm not seeing how he's gaining 700,000 subscribers within that time frame when he only gets like less than 25,000 views a video. I'm just not seeing how that's possible. And he probably posted like what, 40,000 40 videos. So if you do the math, that's like what, 400,000 views, maybe if you want to be generous, 600,000 views, which means that every single person who has watched his videos has subscribed to this content. And pardon my very harsh critique of his content, but I don't think every single person who's watching his videos, I don't think every single one of them is subscribing to this content. Not a lot of people are subscribing for this stuff. So yeah, I mean, make of that what you will. I'm just not seeing any reality where Connor Pugs has actually legitimately earned every single one of his subs. And granted, of course, there's a botting problem in YouTube where there's a lot of bots that'll subscribe to boost engagement on the platform, to make the platform seem more active than it really is. There's no denying that. However, for him to be actively buying subs, because there's no way he's getting this many subs, even from the YouTube bots alone, even then, there's just no reality where he's actually getting these subs legitimately. So I have reason to believe that Connor Pugs bought his subs. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about Connor Pugs. Overall, number one, he actively spreads misinformation by framing these obviously fake stories as true, and then he's targeting them towards like brain rot. So like, oh yeah, these Skibidi kids, oh yeah, they're a real piece of work. Yeah, they really like to beat people up because they are not agreeing to my ideologies. Like, that's how he's framing the Skibidi toilet kids, basically. And there's really nothing wrong with liking Skibidi Toilet. It's okay to like it. It's fine. As long as you're not a crazy fanatic over it, as long as you're not doing what Connor Pugs is framing you guys as, then, like, that's fine. Like, it's okay to like Skibidi Toilet. Of course, I don't really like it. I used to like it in the beginning because it was a weird, funny thing. But, of course, I grew out of it. That's not really part of my thing anymore. But I don't see a reason why you should dislike it. It's not like it's actively encouraging people to harm other people either. It's just action figures and sci-fi and stuff like that. And second of all, Connor Pugs generates his content with AI. There's no doubt about it. He reuses characters in his thumbnails. He makes these 2-hour long stories or something like that. I don't even know how he has the spirit to talk like that. The only part that isn't AI generated is his voice, if that. And third of all, he bots his subs 100%. I have reason to believe that he bots his subs because the data doesn't line up. Every single one of his person has to subscribe. Every single one of the people that watches his videos has to have subscribed on their main YouTube channel, and the other half of that audience needs to go on a second YouTube channel to subscribe to him. So overall, I just have no idea on what Connor Pugs is even thinking about. He just really needs to either revamp his content and live up to his expectations or just quit YouTube entirely. Because if he can't get subs without actually earning them, then he's just not fit to be on this platform. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Overall, Skibidi Toilet is okay to like. If you guys want, you guys should just like what you want to like. It really shouldn't matter as long as you're not actively harming people. At the end of the day, it's okay to like what you want to like. Even if you like, I don't know, furries, right? If you like furry porn or something like that, I don't know. I have no right to judge you. You're not hurting anyone. You're just watching anthropomorphic animals fornicating with each other. And I have no authority to say in that, but Connor Pugs is over here framing the Skibidi Toilet community like it's the Diddy parties. Like, Skibidi Toilet is okay to like. It's fine. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. I hope you all have a good day. It's okay to have your own hobbies, even if it's My Little Pony jars, if you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. I hope you all have a good day, and bye.